Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and today we had some pretty fundamental shakeups over at Unity. Probably the biggest thing that happened in terms of the direction of Unity since, well, this happened. Remember this? This guy, John Riccitiello, used to be the CEO and chairman of the board at Unity, and I can't think of a single reason why they may have moved on from him back in 2023, except maybe this, when they lost them $1.3 billion for the acquisition of Weta Digital, or possibly this one, when the stock tanked so badly that they had to merge with IronSource, which, worked out wonderfully. But spoilers alert, this is going to be a little bit relevant to some of the changes that have been announced at Unity as well. Or maybe, of course, it was something to do with this, when they tried to implement the runtime fee, which almost killed the company. So after all of these failings and more, John was pushed out from both the CEO role as well as the chairman of the board role. And that is where we come in today, because two of those other board directors for, that set the guidance of how Unity goes forward were just announced that they were leaving, and then one new one has come in. So today we're going to talk about who those three people are. And the first two are very key players in the history of Unity. One of them, spoiler alert, has a little bit to do with this, and the other one actually has more to do with the fact that John Riccitiello and the foundation of Unity itself. And let's start off with him. So the first guy that is now no longer part of the board of directors is this fellow right here, David Helgeson. He kind of is relevant to Unity because what did he do? Oh, yeah, he founded it. Yeah, so he is one of the co-founders of Unity, and he was the CEO right up until John Riccitiello took over. So, very important person to the foundations of Unity, and he kind of, again, moved out of the spotlight. John came in the CEO role, but he took over and remained as part of the board of directors. So he has been there since day one, obviously, because he helped co-found the company, but he's been a director for a very long time. And then the other one we've got here, well, that name, again, spoiler alert, we talked about just a second ago, from one of the previous regime's incredibly great decisions. That would be Tomer Bar-Zeev, and this is the CEO and co-founder of IronSource. Yeah, so that company that Unity merged with, acquired, brought in, the last vestiges of IronSource are seemingly now gone. Now, they still have IronSource. They still have Unity Tel Aviv. They still have some of the technologies behind it. Although, what you're going to find from the earnings report is even their newest product seems to be kind of making IronSource's products less relevant. But yeah, as of yesterday, these two fellows, so the co-founder of Unity, David Helgeson, and the founder or co-founder of IronSource, Tomer, they are now both off the board of directors at Unity. And we've added one person in, and that would be Bernard Kim. Now, this is a rando page I picked up from him. He is the interim CEO of Tinder, at least he was. His background, though, was at Zynga. So he was Zynga's president, where oversaw the company connected the world through games. So he came in from Zynga's marketing, user acquisition, ad monetization, revenue, communications, customer insights, data science, product management, business development, partnerships, mergers and acquisitions, and player networking. So he was instrumental in Zynga's turnaround and helped drive the company's player engagement and monetization strategies. In 2020, he was honored as a mobile legend at Pocket Gamer's Gamers Mobile Games Award. So he is now, ironically enough, he spent 10 years at EA as part of the vice president of the mobile publishing division. Before that, he worked at Walt Disney Company. So he is now the new director on the Unity board of directors. So again, summary, IronSource out, Unity co-founder out, and then we have Zynga in. Again, these people they set the high-level goals of the company. They're also the people that would ultimately be responsible for firing the CEO if it came down to that. That's kind of what a board of directors does. They run a company at the highest level. Generally, they're very investment focus. So again, if we look at Unity right now, they have an investors page. And so here you can see these are the day-to-day people. These are the people that run the company. So again, CEO and president would be Matthew Bromberg, for example. Then you've got various different other VPs. These are the people that make the day-to-day decisions. And then you've got the board, which sits one step above. You may remember this name right here. He is the guy from Red Hat. He took over as the interim CEO after John was fired. I met him. He was actually a very smart and nice guy, although he did come in as the hatchet man. He was the person responsible for doing a hell of a lot of layoffs at Unity, which again, a lot of that was undoing mistakes that were made by the previous regime, at which point he was then bumped up to be the chairman of the board for his efforts. And then we got a number of other people. You know, some of these are just random people that you may have heard of, and then a lot of them are from investment companies, Silver Lake, so on. And then Matthew has a spot on it, but thankfully he's not the chair. Something about having the CEO and chair being the same person has always struck me as wrong. But these are the people right now that are on the board, plus again, the additions and then the subtractions that have just happened as well. So it gives you an idea. These are the people that set the direction, thus the name, that Unity is going to go. And that is why this kind of a change is relevant. So the guy that founded the company, out. The guy who founded IronSource, out. And then we've got, on top of that, again, the announcement. So this is from GameIndustry.biz, kind of reporting on it. They actually had a pretty good announcement here. I'm not going to get too much into the financials, but Create, which is Unity itself, and Grow, which is where like you've got user acquisition and ad units. Both of them made money. So Create went up in revenue by 8%, and Grow went up by 11%. All pretty solid, which gave to an overall revenue up 10% year over year. And then, of course, we have the announcement that these people are setting down. But they had good numbers, and a lot of it came from Vector, which is their new ad service unit, which kind of competes with IronSource's products, interestingly enough. Again, it's pretty solid. Then you see here that IronSource Ad Network Solution founder is also stepping down from the board of directors effective immediately. So that was the announcement. Again, Bernard Kim is coming in. They had decent results. They actually exceeded what the market expected. So that leads you to an obvious question. How is Unity doing? And this is, I'm essentially almost going to do a video on this one. So Unity's ticker is U. So on the stock market, it's not good. So here we go. Last 5 days, that's not good. And then we go the last month. Oof, that's not good. So they were actually trading really well. But the thing is, this is really misleading. So Unity should not be doing, their sales are these numbers are insane because they actually reported pretty good financial results. And a big part of why Unity's stock is absolutely plummeting is because Unity investors are idiots. It's kind of as simple as it gets. If you go back through the history of things, when they announced the runtime fee, their stock went up because this is a great new source of revenue. That's what analysts thought anyways. And then later on when they did Muse, they kind of bolted AI onto Unity in a way that nobody wanted at the time. They went up for that because Unity is an AI stock in the view of the text world. And AI is very relevant to it because earlier this week, there was Google launched Project Genie. And the funny thing is, Project Genie was not a product. Project Genie is kind of smoke and mirrors. It's impressive. It's basically an interactive video generator. But people saw it making things like janky Grand Theft Auto 6 clones. And again, it is impressive technology, but it is not a game engine. And the way the market lost their minds over this was just insane what happened there. So overnight, their stock just absolutely tanked. Like absolutely overnight. I think they lost about 30%. But then so did like Take-Two, Roblox, all these guys just massively plummeted after this release of Project Genie. It just shows that investors aren't necessarily all that intelligent. So I wouldn't look at stock performance as much of a barometer in this case. So in summary, an end of two epochs. We've got the era of the co-founder here. He's gone. The co-founder of Unity, no longer on the board of directors. Also, the co-founder of IronSource, no longer on the board of directors. And I think at this point in time, we can actually say like the influence of IronSource at Unity is as low as it has ever been. And I know many people will probably celebrate that fact. And then finally, we have Bernard Kim, previously in head of Zynga, now in at the board. That one makes sense to me, honestly, but I'm curious, what are your opinions of these changes? Do you think it's good direction? Do you think it's bad direction? Let me know. Comments down below. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.